Tucson Bird Count is a long-running urban bird count here in Tucson, Arizona. It began in 2001, and every spring we have dozens and dozens of people that go out and do a route of point counts. And how that works is you sign up for a route, and it contains approximately 10 to 12 separate different locations, and you visit each of those locations on a morning of your choice between April 15 and May 15, and you stand on those exact points for 5 minutes and record all the birds that you see and hear. The count is very urban. This area behind me is a good example of the sort of locations that the count happens in. Some of the routes and locations incorporate more natural areas as well, or sort of different parts of sort of more suburban than urban. But each route has a pretty good variety of points, and sometimes you stand here in a very public place, like at this intersection that I'm near right now, near downtown Tucson, and you stand there for 5 minutes and you don't get more than a few non-native birds and maybe a couple of native birds. And that's incredibly important data. Knowing where the native birds are hanging out in Tucson is incredibly important information. Like, this is extremely urban where I am right now, and I am hearing some Lucy's warblers and some burdens singing in the distance. So native birds do use urban Tucson, and the long-running count, the Tucson Bird Count, is trying to capture how that changes over time, and it has very much of a conservation purpose. The TBC began at U of A in 2001, and the whole point of the count was to try to figure out where the birds are in Tucson and what constitutes good habitat, for the point of then trying to determine what are the components of good habitat and how can we make more of Tucson look like that, so that way we can then share more of our urban habitat in Tucson with native birds. So if you've seen those recipe cards, that sort of 4x9 rack card handouts, there's 10 different ones that Tucson Bird Alliance puts out about how you can make your yard better for birds or hummingbirds or moths or creatures of the night. That is a product of the Tucson Bird Count. So it's a long-running data set. It just takes a morning or two of your time between April 15 and May 15. You can do it at your convenience in that month-long time span. Go out and survey your route and contribute to this long-running data set. So if you can identify the common birds of Tucson by sight and sound, you are the perfect person to help us with the Tucson Bird Count. So please consider joining, and I really appreciate your help. Thank you.